I had always been drawn to the allure of the unknown, the thrill of the unexpected. It was a trait that often led me to chase after adventures that others might shy away from. That fateful night was no different, as I found myself embarking on a journey down a desolate road that would forever etch itself into the corridors of my memory. The moon hung low, casting an eerie glow upon the twisted asphalt that stretched ahead. I gripped the steering wheel tightly, my fingers tracing the faint outlines of years of wear and tear. The radio crackled sporadically, emitting haunting melodies that seemed to be in perfect harmony with the shadows dancing just beyond the reach of my headlights. The journey had begun, innocently enough. A late-night phone call from an old friend had sparked a sense of nostalgia within me, and the prospect of a spontaneous road trip had quickly gained momentum. A destination was set, though I hadn't bothered to question its obscurity. It was as if some unseen force was beckoning me towards the unknown. As the miles passed, I felt an unsettling unease creeping over me. The air grew colder, seeping into the car's interior like a spectral presence. My breath fogged the windshield, distorting my view of the road ahead. It was then that I first noticed the peculiar fog weaving its way through the surrounding trees, a spectral mist that seemed to be alive with a sinister energy. My gaze flickered to the rearview mirror, and my heart skipped a beat. The reflection staring back at me was distorted, almost otherworldly. My features were twisted into an unsettling grin, as if the mirror itself reveled in some malevolent joke. I tore my eyes away, but the image lingered in my mind, a harbinger of the horrors that lay ahead. The road seemed to stretch endlessly, an infinite ribbon of uncertainty. Signs that should have provided reassurance instead filled me with dread, their letters morphing into incomprehensible symbols as I drove past. My headlights cast long, eerie shadows that danced like specters along the periphery of my vision. A macabre ballet that played out in the dark corners of my imagination. A gas station emerged from the darkness, a lone oasis amidst the desolation. I pulled in, the gravel crunching beneath my tires as I came to a stop. The station was devoid of life, its flickering lights casting an eerie glow across the empty pumps. I glanced around, an unsettling feeling gnawing at the edges of my consciousness. It was as if time itself had frozen, leaving me suspended in a realm between reality and nightmare. As I stepped out of the car, the air was heavy with an oppressive silence. The wind whispered through the barren trees, carrying with it a chorus of distant whispers that sent a shiver down my spine. I approached the weathered building cautiously, the creaking of the old door echoing through the night like a mournful wail. Inside, the scene was one of disarray. Shattered glass littered the floor, and a stale scent hung in the air like a malevolent presence. I felt a compulsion to leave, to flee from this place that seemed to exist beyond the boundaries of reason. But my curiosity held me captive, urging me to delve deeper into the enigma that surrounded me. In the back corner of the store, a single flickering light illuminated a decrepit journal resting on a dusty shelf. Its pages were filled with fragmented entries, the handwriting growing more erratic as the entries progressed. Words and phrases spoke of a traveler much like myself, lured by an irresistible force to this forsaken place. The entries spoke of a descent into madness, of visions that twisted the fabric of reality. I stumbled out of the gas station, my mind awash with a torrent of emotions. The road stretched ahead, a serpentine path that seemed to beckon me towards an uncertain fate. The fog had thickened, swirling around me like a malevolent spirit. Shadows danced at the edges of my vision, whispering secrets that I dare not comprehend. With a sense of grim determination, I returned to my car and continued down the road. The darkness seemed to close in around me, the boundaries between reality and nightmare blurring into a surreal tapestry. My headlights pierced the fog, revealing glimpses of twisted figures that seemed to materialize from the very fabric of the night. Time lost all meaning as I pressed onward, the world around me a swirling maelstrom of uncertainty. It was then that I saw it, a dilapidated mansion looming on the horizon. It stood as a monument to forgotten dreams, a relic of a time long past. As I approached, the air grew thick with a sense of malevolence, the very walls of the mansion seeming to pulsate with a sinister energy. I stepped through the decaying threshold, my footsteps echoing through the cavernous halls. The mansion was a labyrinth of shadows and secrets, each room a portal to a nightmare realm. Visions danced before my eyes, tormenting me with glimpses of the horrors that had unfolded within these walls. In the heart of the mansion, I discovered a room shrouded in darkness. The air was heavy with the scent of decay, and a sense of impending doom hung in the air like a shroud. It was there that I saw her, a spectral figure clad in tattered finery. Her eyes held an ancient sadness, a silent plea that resonated deep within my soul. As her lips parted, a whisper carried on the wind, a lament that spoke of a tragic fate intertwined with the very fabric of the mansion itself. The room seemed to come alive, the walls pulsating with a malevolent energy that threatened to consume me. I fled, the echoes of her voice haunting my every step as I raced through the twisting corridors. Back on the road, the world around me seemed to unravel, reality twisting and contorting like a fevered dream. The fog had become suffocating, a suffocating embrace that sought to ensnare me within its clutches. My headlights flickered, casting erratic shadows that danced like demons along the edges of my vision. In the distance, a figure emerged from the fog, its form shifting and warping with each step. A sense of dread washed over me as I recognized the twisted reflection from the rearview mirror, a malevolent specter that seemed to feed on my fear. I swerved, the world spinning into a chaotic whirlwind as my car careened off the road and into the abyss beyond. When I awoke, I found myself back on the desolate road, the events of that night a haunting memory etched into the recesses of my mind. The moon hung low, casting an eerie glow upon the twisted asphalt that stretched ahead. My heart raced as I gripped the steering wheel, a sense of unease gnawing at my consciousness. As I drove, the fog began to thicken, and shadows danced at the edges of my vision. The road seemed to stretch endlessly, an infinite ribbon of uncertainty. I was trapped, caught in a nightmarish cycle that threatened to consume me whole. The allure of the unknown had led me astray, and now I was condemned to wander this desolate road, a prisoner of my own insatiable curiosity.